Hi, I'm Mark, and welcome to The Sonic Mirror, where we explore the edges of independent sound. Today, a critical dive into Cyptor, an AI-driven music project that's released 13 albums in 13 months. Ambitious? Definitely. Flawless? Let's find out. Cyptor is the ongoing music project of Dutch multi-instrumentalist and producer Bas Linders, launched in March 2024. Combining his decades of experience in bands like the psychedelic electro-rock group Moonling and the experimental jam band UFEP, Bas created Cyptor as a vehicle for fully autonomous musical storytelling. The project embraces AI as both collaborator and instrument, generating a wide range of music and visuals with human artistic direction at its core. Cyptor's output is remarkably prolific, a new full-length album every month, each with a distinct theme. From the emotional turbulence of Revulsion to the cosmic soundscapes of Solar and the symbolic exploration of Zodiac, every release stands as a self-contained world. Albums like Flora, Fauna, and Territory reflect on nature and place, while Visitor and Current explore presence, identity, and time. Most albums are instrumental, though some, like Mindscape, The Other Side, and Visitor, feature vocals generated by AI, using lyrics written by Linders or guest lyricist Robert Deckers. Cyptor's visual identity is just as ambitious, featuring surreal and concept-heavy album artwork inspired by styles like hypnosis. The result is a cohesive, multi-sensory experience that feels both timeless and futuristic. The project is fully transparent about its use of AI, positioning it not as a gimmick, but as an expressive tool in the hands of an experienced artist. Cyptor is not a mystery band. It is a personal, evolving exploration of sound, symbolism, and story. So, let's dive into the Cyptor discography. We go through each album Bas Linders has released so far. If you want to hear more, please check out Bas Linders' YouTube page, where you can listen to all the full albums of Cyptor. The journey begins with Mindscape, a debut full of spoken word and digital fog. It's raw and fragmented, like an AI learning how to feel. Interesting, but emotionally cold. Let's listen to a fragment of the album.
We can't be on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
The other side brings clarity, more structure, a clearer sonic direction. The vocals still feel artificial, but they finally make sense in the soundscape. Here's a fragment.
Trapped in here, an instant loop. There is only fear and binding groups. There is no option of a brave escape. You have to stay inside the grape.
Paradox dials everything up. Glitches, intensity, a sense of unraveling. Some tracks are brilliant chaos, others just chaos. Just listen to this. Vigor is a sharp left turn, short, funky, and weirdly fun. A synth-fueled superhero concept, EP, underrated and surprisingly cohesive. Here's an example.
I'm the man in the machine. You can't comprehend what I've seen before.
Zodiac assigns each track to a star sign. The idea is strong, the execution mixed. Some tracks shine, others blend into digital wallpaper. Listen to this one. Then comes Solar, a double instrumental album that takes you from Mercury to Pluto. Standouts like Saturn and Mars show Cyptor's potential as a cinematic composer. Let's listen to a fragment of this enormous project. Plethora lives up to its name, an overwhelming spread of styles. There's brilliance, but also burnout. Here's a sample. revulsion is the hardest listen. Harsh, noisy, intentionally grating, but also deeply honest. It's not pretty, but it's powerful. Like this. Flora and fauna arrive as opposites. Flora is ambient, delicate, dreamlike. Fauna is aggressive, dark, rhythmic. Together they work as nature's duality. First Flora, then fauna. Visitor reintroduces vocals, this time with lyrics by Robert Deckers. The shift is striking. The voice feels almost human. It's electronic, but full of warmth. Let's have a listen.
How low they became, high in spirits, floating eagles, trafficking black holes. Pages, how low plague they became, high in spirits, floating eagles, trafficking black holes. Leaves and pages, just like losing gold. How far before you encounter blocking walls in single minds, evil for a glory, leaves and pages of a useless story.
Live isn't live. It's a simulation. Crowd sounds, tuning noises, even fake stage banter. It's either clever satire or complete confusion. The reworked track's genuinely strong. For example, Current smooths things out. Clean mixes, tighter structures, polished vocals. It's the most accessible Cyptor album, and maybe the least risky. With this as its greatest hit,
Hey there, what you say is just what you have to say, and you may do that anyway. But now it's time to play. Magic number, wizard circles, great and solid voodoo, lazy moments in the evening. Do you like the things you do? Chloroform or master poison, frozen eagle in the ice cold sky. You know I must be fair, or should I tell another lie?
finally, Territory. Heavy, cinematic, political. This album feels like a statement, slow, tense, and unflinchingly dark. Cyptor claims space here, in theme, in sound, in ambition. Let's listen one more time to Cyptor. So, what is Cyptor? A musical experiment? An emotional mirror? A producer channeling identity through machines? Across 13 albums, we hear evolution, from abstract noise to intentional storytelling. Some records feel unfinished, some are overstuffed. But Cyptor is never boring. This project risks, stumbles, and reinvents. In a music world full of formulas, Cyptor sounds like someone, or something, trying to say something. Thanks for listening to The Sonic Mirror. I'm Mark. And remember, the future isn't coming. It's already singing.